Part 1. The sky above Earth looked calm, but something dangerous was building far away in space. The Galactic Council had made a decision. They did not trust humans. They said Earth was growing too fast, learning too much, and moving into space too quickly. So they made a law. Humans could not build new colonies. They had to give up their weapons and leave many of their outposts. People on Earth were angry. They felt small and powerless. For years, Earth had followed the rules. Now, the Council showed no respect. On the news, people argued. On the streets, there were protests. One of the protest signs said, "We will not kneel." Captain Ethan Brooks sat in a small room at the Earth Space Command. He looked at the screen in front of him. The news showed a human science station floating. In space, a second later, a bright light filled the screen. A council ship had fired on the station. Everyone on board was gone. Dead Maya Lane stood beside him. She was quiet, but her eyes were cold. Her younger brother had worked on that station. He was one of the dead. Ethan looked at her. She gave a short nod. She was ready in another part of Earth. General Caleb Moore sat in a dark room with old war maps. He listened to the news and poured himself a cup of coffee. He had served in many battles before Earth joined the Council. He never trusted them. Now he knew war was coming. Nora Fields was working in a lab near the mountains. She was a tech expert. She built systems for ships and weapons. When she heard about the station attack, she turned off her screen and called an old contact in the military. "I'm in," she said. She knew something had started. Earth's leaders were scared. Some wanted to follow the Council. Others wanted to fight. But the people were not waiting. They were ready to stand up. On the dark side of the moon, small ships were being built. In the asteroid belt, miners started hiding metal. Secret messages passed through old channels. In one of those secret meetings, Ethan, Maya, Caleb, and Nora came together. They sat around a metal table in an old bunker. "We can't trust the Council," Caleb said. "They think we're weak," Maya said. "They will come again," Ethan said. "And next time, they won't stop at one station." Nora showed them a new system. "This will hide our ships from their scans. But we need time." Caleb pointed to a star map. "Then we buy time. We spread out. We stay hidden. We fight smart." They formed a small group. They called it Free Earth. At first, there were only a few of them, but more people joined. Some were pilots, others were builders. Many had lost someone in the attack. The Council sent a message to Earth. They said the attack on the station was a warning. They said humans had to obey. But no one on Earth wanted to obey. Now Ethan sent a reply, but not to the Council. He sent it to every human colony and outpost. "They hit us first. They took our people. We don't want war, but we will not run. If you are with us, come home. If you can fight, get ready. We stand together." The message was short, but it spread fast. On Mars, soldiers in old uniforms started training again. On a small moon, a group of engineers began building a secret ship. On Earth, people started saving power, hiding fuel, and preparing for what would come. The Council thought humans were broken, but they were wrong. The humans were quiet, but they were not weak. They were angry, and they were waiting for the right moment. In the dark, among the stars, something was coming, something strong, something human. Part 2. The days after the attack were full of silence and anger. People no longer trusted the Council. They watched the skies with fear. But below the surface, plans were growing. Maya sat in a quiet room, looking at pictures of her brother. Her hands shook, but her mind was clear. She stood up and walked into the war room. Ethan was there. Caleb came in after. Nora arrived with a small device in her hand. "We have people," Ethan said. "Pilots, soldiers, engineers. Not many, but enough to start. We also have friends in the colonies," Maya said. "Some still listen to us." Caleb placed a small map on the table. "We can't win in open war. We need to be fast and smart. Strike when they don't expect it." Nora smiled. "I have something that will help. It's a jammer. It blocks council signals. With it, we can hide our ships." They started building a new fleet in the asteroid belt. Old cargo ships were changed into warships. Weapons were hidden inside them. Small stations were turned into command centers. On Earth, volunteers came to join. Some were old soldiers. Some were young students. They trained in secret. They shared what little they had. Food, tools, hope. Ethan spoke to them often. "We do not fight for power. We fight because they crossed the line. We fight for the ones we lost." One day, a message came from the colony on Europa. It was short, "We're with you." Soon after, another came from a base on Titan, "Ready." Free Earth was growing. The council still watched, but they did not see the full truth. They thought humans were scared. They thought humans would give up. They were wrong. A council ship passed near Mars. It scanned for weapons, but found nothing. As it moved away, a signal was sent. Ethan read the data. "They're checking. We need to be ready." Maya worked late into the night, planning strikes. Caleb taught new fighters. Nora built better tools. And Ethan prepared his crew. They waited. They listened. They built. The silence before the storm had begun. The silence after the station attack did not last long. Across Earth and its colonies, something was changing. People who had trusted the Galactic Council were now asking hard questions. They no longer believed the words of peace. The images of the destroyed science station stayed in their minds. Maya Lane sat in her room, her face calm but her heart heavy. Her younger brother had died on that station. He was not a soldier. He was a doctor who helped others. Now he was gone. Maya did not cry. She made a promise instead. She would make sure his death meant something. Captain Ethan Brooks met with her and General Caleb Moore in a hidden base beneath a mountain. It had been built long ago for emergencies. Now it was full of activity. People moved between rooms, carrying weapons and machines. Engineers set up communication systems. Pilots trained in old flight simulators. General Moore placed a file on the table. "They are watching us. We need to move fast." Ethan nodded. "We need a new plan. One that does not depend on the council." Maya pointed to a map of the solar system. "There are still outposts loyal to us. Some are hiding. We can reach them. We just need to speak carefully. The council watches all channels." Nora Fields entered the room carrying a small device. She was the best tech expert they had. "This will help," she said. "It hides messages, sends them in short bursts over different paths. They will not know." With that, Free Earth was born. It was not a government. It was not even an army yet. It was a promise to fight back. Their first step was to build. Old cargo ships were found and refitted. Hidden factories on the moon started making weapons. Engineers worked long hours to create shields, engines, and new tools. Everything was done in secret. In the asteroid belt, small stations began to take shape. Some looked like mining posts, but inside they were full of weapons, scanners, and fighters. Every day more people joined. Some were soldiers who had retired. Others were miners, builders, and farmers. Many had lost someone in the attack. All of them were ready to fight. On Mars, a group of engineers sent a coded message: "We are with you. Give us work." On Titan, an old base came back online. The message was simple: "Ready?" Ethan stood before a group of new recruits. They looked tired but ready. "This is not about revenge," he said. "This is about making sure we are never pushed again. We are not their pets. We are not their children. We are equals." Maya worked late into the night. She looked at council ship movements. She found weak points. She made plans. Her face showed no fear. Nora tested new systems. She made small drones that could hide in space and send data back. She found ways to block council scanners. She even found a way to copy their signal codes. General Moore trained the fighters. He pushed them hard. "If you think they will go easy, you are wrong," he said. "They will hit us with everything they have. We must be ready." Ethan sent a message: "To the loyal outposts, we do not ask for war. But if they bring war to us, we will not run. If you stand with Earth, let us know." One by one, the replies came in. Some were just a word. Some sent names of pilots and supplies. Each one was another. Step, back on Earth, the people waited. They did not know all the details, but they saw the signs. Power was being saved. Trains moved, strange cargo at night. Satellites shifted positions. They knew something was coming. The Council still believed Earth was weak. They watched from far away. They saw quiet streets and no open army. They did not see the secret messages or the growing fleet. Then a Council patrol passed near Mars. It stopped to scan a small mining post. What it found was strange. The station looked old, but its power levels were too high. Before the patrol could report back, its signal was lost. Maya read the report. "They are checking us." Ethan looked at the map. "We are almost ready. Just a little more time." In the dark, in cold space, human ships moved into new positions. Their engines were silent. Their lights were off. They waited. The Council had made a mistake. They thought they were sending a message. They thought humans would stay down. But they had done the one thing they should never have done. They had made Earth angry, and Earth was ready to fight. The stars were quiet, but humans were not. Deep in space, in the dark places between the planets, the first human fleet waited. It was not large. The ships were not perfect, but they were fast, hidden, and ready. Captain Ethan Brooks stood on the bridge of one of the lead ships. The ship was once a transport, but now it held weapons, shields, and fighters. His crew was small, but every person knew their job. They had trained for weeks. Now they waited for the order. Maya Lane watched. A screen showing the movements of a Council patrol ship. It was heading toward a secret base near one of Jupiter's small moons. She turned to Ethan. "They are getting too close," she said. "If they find that base, everything will fall apart." Ethan looked at the screen. "Then we stop them. We strike first." This was the moment they had prepared for. No one knew how the Council would respond, but they could not wait any longer. Ethan gave the order. "All units, move to strike positions. Keep shields low until the last second. The human fleet moved, silent, cold, and careful. They reached the edge of the patrol route and waited. The council ship, bright and full of power, moved into range. It sent out scans, searching for signs of weapons or ships. It found nothing at first. Then the signal from Maya's jammer hit. For one short moment, the council ship lost contact with the rest of the galaxy. In that moment, the human ships came alive. Missiles fired, beams of light cut through the dark. The patrol ship tried to fight back, but it was too late. In less than 2 minutes, it was drifting and dead. Ethan stood straight. "Status clean hit," Maya said. "No survivors." No signal got out. Across the fleet, the crew began to cheer. It was the first real fight, and they had won. Ethan raised his hand. Save the cheers. This was just the start. They will come back, and next time it will be more than one ship. News of the strike spread fast through the human colonies. People smiled again. For the first time, they saw that the council could be hurt. They could be beaten. On Earth, more volunteers signed up. Factories started running day and night. New ships were being built. More weapons were made. The people were ready, but in the halls of the council, there was anger. The loss of the patrol ship was a shock. They called meetings. They shouted. They argued. They dared to attack us. One council member said, "They must be crushed," said another. The council sent out a message. They told the galaxy that humans were dangerous. They said Earth was now under control. Orders. Any ship helping Earth would be punished. But it was too late. Other species had seen the fight. They had seen how humans fought. Some were afraid. Others were impressed. A few were even willing to help in secret. In one far-off system, a trader ship from a small alien race sent a message to free Earth. "We believe in balance. The Council has lost its way. We offer you fuel and supplies." Maya smiled when she read it. "We are not alone anymore." General Caleb Moore trained new fighters every day. He pushed them hard. "Do not forget," he told them. "They will come with bigger ships. They will try to crush us. But we fight for our homes. We fight for our people." Meanwhile, Nora Fields worked on a special project. She used parts from the council ship they had destroyed. She was building a new system, one that could turn off enemy ships by using their own tech against them. "It's not ready yet," she told Ethan. "But when it is, it will change everything." Ethan nodded. "Work fast. We need every edge we can get." Then the council moved. They sent a larger fleet. 10 ships, each one full of weapons and soldiers. They sent it straight toward the human base near Saturn. Ethan and Maya watched the incoming data. "They're coming hard," Maya said. Ethan replied, "Then we hit harder." The human fleet moved again. This time, they were ready for a bigger fight. They used asteroids as cover. They hid mines in space. They waited for the right moment. As the council fleet entered the area, the trap closed. Explosions lit up space. Human ships darted between enemy lines. Fighters hit weak points. Hidden mines tore holes in the larger ships. One by one, the council ships began to fall. Ethan's voice came through all channels. "No mercy, no retreat. Finish this." The battle lasted for hours. When it ended, 6 council ships were destroyed. The rest fled. Humans had done the impossible. They had won again. On Earth, people cried and cheered. Across the colonies, lights turned on. Banners were raised. Free Earth had become more than a name. It was now a force. Ethan stood on the bridge, looking out at the wreckage. "This is just the beginning," he said. Maya stood beside him. "Now, they know we are not just angry. We are strong." And somewhere deep in space, the council leaders sat in silence. They had crossed a line, and now they were facing something they had never faced before. A human enemy who would not stop. The galaxy was watching, and it would never be same again. Asterisk. The council was not quiet after their loss near Saturn. They were shocked, but they were not ready to give up. They gathered a much bigger fleet. Ships from many alien species joined them. It was the largest fleet ever sent toward Earth. They wanted to end the human threat quickly. Captain Ethan Brooks stood in the war room. The lights were low. Everyone looked at the screen showing the enemy fleet. It was moving fast. General Caleb Moore said, "They are coming to crush us. This time, we must stand our ground." Maya Lane spoke calmly. "We cannot stop them head-on, but we can break them piece by piece. They have many ships, but they do not know our space." She pointed to 3 points on the map. "Here, here, and here. These are narrow zones. If we pull some of their ships there, we can trap them. We will use gravity from the moons. We will use old satellites. We will turn space into a weapon." Ethan nodded. "We will not run. We fight on our terms." Nora Fields had finished her new system. It was small, but powerful. She called it the Breaker. It could shut down enemy ship systems for a few seconds. "Only works once per ship," she warned. "But that's enough if we act fast." Ethan's team spread out. Some ships moved to Jupiter's moons. Others hid near Saturn. A few stayed near Earth to protect the home world. The Council fleet entered the system. Their leaders sent a final warning: Earth must surrender or be destroyed. Ethan sent a message back: "We will not kneel. Come and find out what that means." The first attack began near Europa. Council ships chased a small group of human fighters into a trap. The humans used fake signals to confuse them. They flew through ice clouds. Then the human ships turned and fired from hidden spots. Council ships exploded. Others crashed into the moon's surface. Maya led the second wave. She used asteroid fields to hide mines. When the Council ships came close, the mines exploded. At the same time, human ships appeared from behind rocks and fired. The enemy ships tried to turn back, but more mines blocked their way. Caleb defended Earth with a group of heavy ships. They stayed hidden until the Council fleet got close. Then, they rose from behind the moon. Nora's breaker system was used on 2 enemy flagships. For a few seconds, those ships could not move. That was enough. Human missiles hit them hard. Both ships went dark. Back on Earth, people watched the battle from screens. Families sat together, holding hands. Factories kept running, sending supplies into orbit. No one gave up. The Council began to lose control. Their fleets were spread too thin. Their leaders argued. They had not expected such strong resistance. They thought humans were weak and easy to control. But every day, more human ships joined the fight. More colonies sent support. Even some small alien groups started helping secretly. One group gave energy cells. Another sent parts for ships. Ethan sent a message to all who helped: "You are not just helping us. You are helping the galaxy stand against fear." The biggest battle came near Saturn. The Council sent their last strong fleet to strike the hidden human base there. But Ethan and Maya were ready. They placed large reflectors in space. These reflected light and made it hard for the enemy to see. They also used old satellites to block signals. When the Council fleet entered the area, they were blind. Human ships circled them. Missiles rained down. Laser fire cut through the darkness. Explosions lit up the cold rings of Saturn. One Council commander tried to call for help, but his message never got out. Nora's system jammed it. The battle lasted the whole day. In the end, more than half of the enemy ships were gone. The rest ran. The humans did not chase. They had made their point. After the battle, Ethan stood in silence, looking at space. He thought about those who had died. He thought about Maya's brother, about the families on Earth, about the people who still believed in peace. Maya stood beside him. We are winning, but this will not be over until they stop trying to rule us. Ethan nodded. We have shown them who we are. Now we wait. Let them decide if they want more war. Back at the Council, the leaders were afraid. They had lost more ships in 1 week than in the last 100 years. Some wanted to talk peace. Others wanted to attack again. But no one had a clear plan. And in the middle of that fear, one thing was clear. Humanity was no longer a small planet to be ignored. They were strong, they were united, and they were not afraid. The galaxy had changed, and Earth had made it happen. Asterisk, asterisk. The war had reached its final days. The Council had failed to break Earth. Their ships had fallen. Their leaders had lost control. But still, they sent one last message to Earth. It was short: surrender, or we will destroy your planet. Captain? Ethan Brooks read the message. His hands were calm, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at Maya Lane and General Caleb Moore. They were ready, Maya said. They do not understand us. They never did. General Moore nodded. We never asked for war, but we will end it. In secret, Nora Fields had finished her final project. It was a small satellite, hidden in the far edge of space. It was made to break the power of the Council's main fleet. She called it the Pulse. It will not destroy ships, Nora said, but it will turn them off. Lights, engines, weapons, everything will stop. They will be blind and frozen. Ethan smiled. Then we end this without more death. Maya shook her head. Some will still fight. We must be ready for both peace and war. The final human fleet gathered near Earth. It was larger than before. Ships from colonies, ships from allies, even some alien ships that believed in Earth's cause. They formed a wide shield around the planet. The Council sent their last fleet. It was huge. Many species had joined them. The ships looked powerful. Their weapons glowed in the dark. Ethan stood in front of his crew. This is it. If we fall today, we fall standing. If we win for every voice that was silenced, for every world that was pushed down. We are not just fighting for Earth. We are fighting for the right to live free. The enemy ships reached Earth's space. They stopped. A message came. This is your last chance. Ethan answered. You already had your chance. You chose fear. We choose freedom. Then Nora gave the signal. The pulse activated across space. Lights went out. Engines stopped. Weapons failed. Council ships drifted in silence. Maya gave the order. Move in. Target only ships that try to fight. Let the others stay frozen. Human ships moved fast. They took control of the battlefield. Some Council ships started to restart their systems. A few opened fire. Those were taken down. Others stayed still. Their crews were scared. They had never seen such power used with control. They expected fire. Instead, they saw patience. On one ship, a council captain stood up and raised his hands. We surrender. Soon, more followed. One by one, the council fleet broke apart. Some left. Some shut down their weapons. Some asked to speak. Ethan opened all channels. He stood in front of a screen. His voice was calm but strong. You crossed the line when you attacked our people. You burned our stations. You silenced our voices. You thought we would hide. You were wrong. We are humans. We remember. We fight. We protect. Today, we did not fight to destroy. We fought to survive. We do not want to rule the galaxy. We only want respect. We will never kneel again. If you want peace, we will talk. If you want war, we will finish what you started. Silence followed. Then one alien voice replied, "You have earned our respect." Another voice said, "We will not follow the council anymore." The old power had fallen. The council was broken. Weeks passed. Talks began. Some leaders from the council stepped down. Others asked to join the new talks with Earth. Ethan, Maya, Caleb, and Nora sat in a room with many voices. It was the first time Earth had been treated as an equal. The talks were long, but honest. New laws were made. No one could control another world without its voice. No station could be attacked without warning. Respect was the new rule. On Earth, people slowly returned to normal life, but they never forgot. The names of the lost were written on walls of stone. Flowers were placed there every day. Ethan walked through a garden near one of those walls. Children played nearby. He smiled. Maya stood beside him. "We changed the galaxy." Ethan nodded. They thought we were just angry, but we were more. We were united. From that day on, no one looked at Earth the same way. It was no longer a small world at the edge of space. It was the world that stood up. The world that said no. The world that showed what it meant to be human. The galaxy now remembered the name of Earth, and it remembered it with respect. The galaxy was quiet, but the silence was not empty. It was a new kind of silence, one that came after great change. Earth had won the war, but now came the harder task-building peace. Captain Ethan Brooks stood on a hill near the edge of the city. Below him, ships came and went from a large landing base. Some were human, some were from other worlds. The flags of many species now flew beside Earth's flag. Maya Lane walked up the hill to join him. She had been meeting with leaders all morning. Her eyes were tired, but her mind was focused. "They are still unsure," she said. Ethan looked at the sky. "Of course they are. Change is hard. They ruled for so long. Now they must listen." General Caleb Moore was now leading a new peace force. It was made of fighters from different worlds. Their job was to keep order and protect those who could not protect themselves. "We do not rule," Caleb said in his first speech. "We guard, we serve, we remember." Nora Fields was back in her lab, but this time she was not building weapons. She worked on ways to share power and knowledge. She wanted every world to grow without fear. Many of the old council stations were now open for all. Some were turned into learning centers. Others became safe places for refugees. People from lost colonies and damaged worlds came to these places to start over, but not all were happy. Some old council leaders still wanted power. They whispered in the dark. They sent messages in secret. They told lies to those who feared change. One day, a small station near the edge of known space went dark. A ship was sent to check. It found damage, signs of attack, and a message scratched into the wall: Earth will fall. Ethan read the report. They are not done, he said. Maya nodded. We need to stay ready. Caleb called a meeting of the Peace Force. We cannot return to war, he said, but we must not ignore the signs. We protect peace by staying strong. So, the patrols began again. Quiet ships watched the edges of space. Scouts listened for strange signals. Nora added new codes to protect communication lines. Still, attacks came. Small ones, quick ones. But they were enough to hurt one day. A convoy bringing food to a damaged moon was attacked. Ethan led the rescue mission. He flew with a group of fast fighters. The enemy ships were fast, but not trained. The fight was short. After the battle, Ethan found something strange on one of the enemy ships. A human map, old symbols, and a name. The Flame, he said aloud. I have not heard that name in years. Maya looked it up. The Flame was once a human group that believed in strength only. They hated the council, but also hated peace. They had gone silent after the war. Looks like they are back, she said. The group believed Earth had gone soft. They wanted to rule, not share. They blamed Ethan and the others for not taking full power when they had the chance. Caleb spoke to the Peace Force. This is not just about old enemies. This is about who we are. We must show that peace is not weakness. It is strength held back. Ready, but not wild. More training began. More talks with allies followed. Maya led meetings with old council racers. She spoke clearly. We will not rule you, but we will not be ruled. We want peace, but we will defend it. Slowly, the attacks stopped. The Flame's messages grew weaker. Many of their own people left. They had seen the truth. Earth was not weak. Earth had chosen a better way. Nora launched a new system. It sent open data across the galaxy. It helped planets build clean power and grow food. It shared medical tools and learning programs. It was called LightNet. LightNet is not a gift, Nora said. It is a bridge. We cross it together, young. People from many worlds joined new schools. They studied side by side. They played games together. They asked questions. They made plans. One day, a child from a small planet asked Ethan a question during a school visit. Why didn't you just destroy them when you could? Ethan looked at the child and said, because then we would become them. We do not win by becoming monsters. We win by staying human. The child smiled. Others clapped. The war was over. But the work continued. Ethan, Maya, Caleb, and Nora met often. They planned, they listened. They watched, and the galaxy grew quieter, not from fear, but from hope. Earth had risen in fire, but it had chosen to rise higher, not as a ruler, but as a guide. And now the stars were open for all, together.